interview with academics where I don't know what he revealed because he told academics to hold the interview until he passes away and then to release it. He's definitely playing both sides. You see with YoungBoy, it ain't hard to see that he took the oath. He's been protected since day one. But just look at all the times where YoungBoy got arrested for some serious accusations but ends up free. I know people who did many years locked up, but they let NBA YoungBoy go free. Like the first time he got arrested, it was for a drive-by where witnesses said they saw him hanging out the car with a weapon, dumping at his ops. They arrested him, but he managed to finesse his way out. He also got arrested again for the music video situation. We're accused of being around weapons while he's not supposed to. And that when a judge gave him bail, even though when he was arrested, he ran on police and proved he was a flight risk. Instead of keeping him locked up, they give him house arrest where he can live like a king. He took the oath, and that's what's keeping him out of trouble.
Exactly, and like you said at the beginning, he's definitely playing both sides because one moment he's against the violence, the next moment he's promoting violence. And the same thing in that interview. He knows that he is being used for destruction, but because the money they're paying him is too good and the life he's living is too good, he's not going to stop. Even though he knows he has all this blood on his hands. All these kids that got in cars and went to do drills, listening to his music, being influenced by his music, doing things that they would have not done. These 14, 15-year-old kids should be playing video games at home. Instead, they're trying to turn real life into Call of Duty because of an NBA YoungBoy song. And if you look at YoungBoy since the beginning, when they put him in the industry, he was around people like Birdman. Birdman was behind Young Thug. In the situation with Young Thug, when Young Thug tried to take out Lil Wayne, Birdman tried to use Young Thug to take out Lil Wayne because he owed millions to Lil Wayne. What better way to get rid of his power? Make the new artist that he's messing with, fill up his brains with a bunch of nonsense, manipulate him, and have him take the power out. That's what Birdman was doing.
Birdman is just like Diddy. They take the young kids, they corrupt them. YoungBoy had a relationship with Birdman early in his career. That is never a good sign. We all know what Birdman did to Wayne. Wayne admitted it himself that Birdman whipped him. We also saw the picture of Birdman and Lil Wayne kissing on the lips, calling him his daddy. This is some Diddy activity. It's the reason NBA YoungBoy has been dressing and acting sus, wearing makeup, painting his nails. This is far from the thug he claims to be. I don't know if you saw NBA YoungBoy running with McConan, the rapper that signed to Drake and sang the Tuesday song. McConan came out as gay long ago. Then you see YoungBoy running around with him like that's his bestie. Come on, man. We know what YoungBoy is up to nowadays. Like you see all the time, true. They use the biggest artists to push the Lil Nas agenda.
This is what YoungBoy is doing. He came out, this thug image, this gangster, had all of this
choppy as hell, bitch.
Are already living in situations like this. They only see it from day to day, so they want to look up to this superhero thug, this superhero thug. And then YoungBoy knows that he has all this influence, and he starts dressing up. He starts painting his nails. He starts pushing the Lil Nas X agenda that the demons that he called out are telling him to do. YoungBoy is probably not even into that kind of stuff, but they already corrupted him and make sure that he's into that kind of stuff, at least in his public image. This is why
I can't do shit, bro. Your ass go. You can talk shit all you want, nigga. Ain't shit I can do.
He is trying to influence you.
That's good, and it's Wembanyama with the assist. Mitchell's got 7 points.
Oh, how about the vision by Wembanyama there? Always looking to get teammates involved.
Edwards can't hit. It's Rodman with the ball for Toronto. Leading by 12. And there's the whistle.
Illegal screen. That wants to do drills because what you gonna have on in your car or in your ears before you do the drill. You're not gonna have gospel music on. You're gonna have some NBA YoungBoy kid on. You know what I mean? Like they're really using this kid for evil. That's for sure. Y'all remember not that long ago, he was on the Stop Violence tour. People actually fell for that, not realizing that was off his court case, which they shouldn't notice off jump. He wanted to clear up and look good for the courts. Literally, once after saying he would stop the violence, he was dissing Dirk and he was going to perform in Chicago. All YoungBoy does is self-peace. That's why he keeps himself running. He was never going to stop the violence because it would stop his money. He's going to continue to promote violence. And they're going to destroy their lives following these songs.
Like, so
How you been, bro? Hope your shit going up, bro. I ain't see you drop, nigga. I just recently checked your channel too, bro. Like I think it was like 2 days ago. Might have been yesterday. It was like 2 days ago, max.
A lot of people like
I went to your channel and I'm like, bro ain't been dropping shit because I ain't see you drop shit, bro.
Study on the brain, you realize that our brains are like a sponge. Everything that we see, everything that we hear,
I don't get no notifications, no nothing.
Makes us who we are.
We are. I say this.
Oh, you on Twitch now, bro. That's what's up. You get paid? That's my boy, man.
Last week.
I knew that shit was coming soon, boy, your ass.
So there's this program.
I knew you was gonna make it soon, boy.
Aid program. And they're giving $6,400.
Taylor, we all who listen.
I'm on your ass, though, boy. I'm coming.
Rap, I'm gonna be a gangster.
I'm
Whether I'm
coming soon, man.
or not, I'm gonna wanna be a gangster. I listen to Russ. I'm a lover boy.
Man, this shit is so trash, bro. Like, oh my god, bro. This choppy ass shit. Why is this shit choppy? My shit is right beside the PlayStation, bro.
That's such a high rate. It doesn't even make sense. It's the most
time, bro. I be hating that.
In the hip-hop game, with
like,
artists.
Who can't make you look ass with their latency, bro? They track ass latency, bro.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, specifically in the drill music scene. You know, not everybody's from New York, so they don't really get to see it.
I can't even guard this nigga, bro, because this shit's so choppy,
exactly what this beef thing leads to. How many kids end up in prison
or in the casket
because of this music, because of trying to make a hot drill song. And in order to make a hot drill song, you have to have a body that goes along with the lyrics. You can't just make a song about catching bodies that don't exist. And these are what these
kids
that nigga
are literally manipulating. Like that nigga know that shit is real.
Ross made an hour-long, I think it was 4-hour-long documentary, or I think it's 6-hour-long documentary on YoungBoy, and he was talking about how YoungBoy, was he a real gangster or was he a fake gangster that really had bodies? YoungBoy, instead of denying all the allegations, made a song where he basically implied that, yeah, he caught all those bodies. He's really about that life and he's willing to do these things. When we know that's not the truth. I don't think YoungBoy has any bodies. I don't think YoungBoy's really doing it. I think that YoungBoy, yes, has gotten himself into criminal activity. His connections, his Masonic connections are down him out. But I do not believe
what'd you say? You saw ass?
Really out here catching bodies. He's rapping about it, he's promoting it, and maybe he's a tie to some people that did it. But the reason he's doing this is because he knows that they're not gonna push his music unless he's talking about this.
No, of course not. When have you ever heard a NBA YoungBoy song that's not promoting violence in some kind of way? And if it isn't, the next one is. He can throw out a love song like Lil Durk, they do it. The people that they surround themselves around will do anything for money. And this is another reason why these rappers just get away with everything.
The biggest red flag of all of this is that Mason chain that he has at 16, 17.
That's crazy because these niggas really work with the police. That's crazy, like,
they made it. Didn't exist.
Some of our favorite rappers work with the police for real, bro. That's just wild.
He has to look as authentic as possible. That's why they go to these hoods and get these
rapping all this
make them
crazy.
a factory, essentially. Now they go to the
trying to figure out why the rappers always get off so
their brain, they make them push whatever they want, and the artist is going to do whatever they want. He cannot be broken for. And some of these artists, like we've already seen, they truly follow
because they really work with the police.
They're devoted to the craft and all this stuff. But then there's people like YoungBoy and other artists who are not that devoted, but they take the oath and they have to climb in degrees, they have to climb in the system to make it to the top. This is what I believe is going on with YoungBoy. If it's not YoungBoy...
Yeah, a quick little lean like that is going to get the ref's attention. Foul call.
Now, here's Nash. Horford in the post. And the layup is good. Horford's got his first points of the game.
Horford, a big guy, and he knows it, so you got to use your size on the inside to keep plays going.
Floats it up for Wembanyama. An emphatic LU jam.
The perfect lob partner. Wembanyama with elite hand-eye coordination.
And it's Thompson with the ball. He'll bring it up for Toronto. Outside for Wembanyama. Over Horford. The rebound by Grant. And stolen by Wembanyama. Back to Rodman. And Rodman with the slam.
And it was Wembanyama who got it rolling after definitely getting a hold of the ball there.
Man, you look at the hype surrounding Wembanyama. Greg, it's unreal.
One of the best prospect profiles, really, since LeBron. Almost unfair to try and live up to the expectations, but he's got the tools to be one of the best to ever play.
And Toronto has possession following the miss by Steve Nash. Pass to McDaniel. Shot clock at 5. That drops. Nice feed that time from Wembanyama.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
It would take a major comeback for them to get back into this game.
And the chances of that happening don't look good.
Horford from outside. Hits the three-point bomb. Horford's got 5 points so far.
Now, another big out there who can stretch the floor. Horford doing that now often.
The basketball goes to the away team.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Carter outside. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
When you think Vince Carter, dunking is probably the first thing that comes up, but Vince is also someone who can be a first option. Tremendously talented.
First free throw is good. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Irving attacking. Good, and the assist goes to Giannis.
Love how effective Irving is on the drive. His head is up, and he just cuts right through the defense.
Pass to Edwards. Into the lane. Toronto grabs the miss. On the wing, Irving. Here's Toscano Anderson. He's covered by Iguodala. Here's Giannis. Good work defensively by Horford. Iguodala with it. Guarded now by Irving. Great D that time from Irving. Toronto leading by 14. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Sweet little floater. Irving's got 4 points now in the quarter.
This is where Kyrie can work some of his magic out there on the floor. Excels at getting the screen and taking advantage of any space he gets.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Asar Thompson. That's foul number 2 for him.
Horace Grant, Donovan Mitchell.
1:11 left now here in the second. Thompson with the rebound. Outside Irving. Thompson inside. And to Kumbo. An easy 2 points on the layup. And Toronto leads by 18.
Great awareness by Thompson, wanting to find his open teammates whenever he can.
Vince Carter on the wing. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. That's good from Carter.
Vince Carter going to the line, shooting 2.
Vince Carter hits them both. And so it's Irving. He brings it up for Toronto. Here's Thompson. Second shot opportunity. He takes it up and lays it in.
always keeping an eye out for rebounding opportunities. Thompson, just a rookie, but already showing some experience.
Trying to get open is Carter. Edwards can't hit. Toronto's shooting their first free throw of the game.
First personal foul.
The free throw off from Irving.
It's got to be something else to be a teammate of Irving's. What a generational talent.
Toronto leading by
Hey,
18.
they talked all this trash,
garbage
and
as
then they
hell.
went to their house
To the
and
paint.
backed it up.
Okay,
Now you're right, if they don't win the Super Bowl,
Wow.
it doesn't matter. But right now, it matters.
Okay, I disagree, but that's another discussion for another day. My point
No
is,
fouls.
we now have
This
two
nigga
teams
foul.
that
This is
supposedly
bullshit.
mind about the way their season lost. So I don't have a ton of, I guess, empathy, if you will, for Hassan Reddick saying they cried too much, a lot of boo-hoos, when while it wasn't Reddick. But a lot of his teammates were doing the same boo-hoos about the Super Bowl.
All right, well, Purdy is back. Is this a must-win for Brock Purdy?
No.
No. Brock Purdy has proven he can win big games.
I mean, first playoff game, he beats Seattle, throws for 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's a
All
good
right,
team.
this year, against Dallas, huge game. Probably the biggest regular season game of his career. Yeah, 4 touchdowns, 300, almost 200 plays, 260 yards, something like that. Played great, outplayed Dak Prescott. Jacksonville, he's Mr. Irrelevant, against the #1 pick, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, 296, something like that. So he has proven he can play big against the big teams, the top teams. And there's no shame. If they lose, there's no shame in going into Philly and losing.
Every
All right,
time.
Patrick Mahomes just lost to the Eagles in Kansas City. All right, Dak Prescott. We've seen other great quarterbacks, Josh Allen, lose in Philly to this team. So, look, he can't go out and have an absolute. He can be like, he was pretty good on Thanksgiving Day. He was fine. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. He can do that. But if he throws 3 picks, it'll just bring out the haters.
Okay, so again, I don't know why you emotionally when you say the haters.
Well, because you're
I'm incredibly consistent and fair to Brock Purdy, and you're good for. We'll see where he is on Mahomes Mountain, but your good friend at Pro Football Focus had him 13th. Stephen Williams from The Ringer has him 18th amongst NFL quarterbacks. Like the idea that that's fine. If that's what you would like to have, that be your level of analysis. We could have Deep Blue out here, and they could tell us the rankings as well. But there's more to it than that, and I know you know that. My point is, me having firmly outside of the top 10 is not out of left field opinion. It is shared by many. Now you guys, you thinking he is, a fringe MVP candidate, and you thinking you don't know what you think because you're going back and forth on it. That's very fair. But what Bruce said at the end is true. It is a must not meltdown. Because for the San Francisco 49ers, even the folks, even Drew, I think, would agree with this. Aside from injury, the biggest question mark with them, and are they going to win the Super Bowl, is their quarterback. And that is not a stinging indictment of him. It can be read like that, but we look at the rest of the team and we say not a ton of question marks. So you can look at that as like kind of the, doesn't mean you're poor. For Purdy, if he has a disastrous game, or if he has a fine game and then has a disastrous moment at the end, a la the losing streak, either of those things would be a red siren moment for them. But them losing, or even them losing and him just, playing mediocre, to me would not be, it does not move the needle in either direction. And now, to be fair, if he were to do what he was unable to do during the losing streak, if it is a nip and tuck game and he's been mediocre, call it, and then he leads them on a drive at the end, that would be a massive check mark in his column positively against this opponent in that building.
Let me ask you this, Nick.
Yeah.
Let's say they beat him 30-17, and he plays well, 3 touchdowns, 260 yards, whatever.
Yeah.
Would you be more impressed by that, or if he plays okay, but it's nip and tuck?
With the second.
Really? And he leaves the game. Even if it's just for a field goal.
Yes. Yes, because that is, I know that when the things are rolling for the Niners, Purdy can look as good as almost any quarterback in the league. I know that. I am of the belief that the Niners it is not going to be smooth sailing like that for them in the games for them that truly matter in the postseason, and certainly if they were to get to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And so for those rooting for against
you would think this game would be
this is a big spot, but you also know that I have real question marks about the back end of Philly. We've seen Wild's guy Sam Howell, we've seen almost everybody cut him up.
See how he did that?
Well, that's just true. Wild's guy Sam Howell.
If Purdy leads the game when he drives, that's your limit. But then back in. I just told you that would impress me. I told you that would impress me.
That would impress me. The game-winning drive thing would impress me. I said that. Yeah.
Finally, odds to win the NFC. Philly's in number 1. Then it's San Francisco. Then it's Dallas, Detroit. Oh, the Lions. Then it's Seattle. Who's the better bet, Philly or San Francisco? Bruce.
Well, look, obviously I like both teams, but I'm going to stick with my pick, which is Philly. I think Philly is the best team in football. Now, they're not blowing anybody out, right? They've got 2 double-digit wins. They haven't won by more than 14 points against anybody, even a bunch of these tomato cans in here. All right, but I think if you're talking about them in San Francisco, as much as I like Brock Purdy, I like them. All right, I think Philly has proven that they're playoff tested. They got to the Super Bowl and played well. They lost. You can play well and lose, and that's what they did in the Super Bowl, right?
100%.
And so I got to go with Philly. Now look, Philly. And here's the other thing. I don't know if you want to go in Dallas.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think these odds are skewed because I do not look at it as a 2-team race, and these odds have it as a 2-team race. In my opinion, 4 teams in the NFL have separated themselves. If we are being honest about where they are going to finish positionally in the standings, what we know about them, what we believe. And it's those 3 teams on your screen in Kansas City. Brew would probably include Baltimore in that group. I would not, but we can argue about the Ravens later. I think the Cowboys being such substantial underdogs compared to Philly and San Francisco, which are damn near even odds, I think that's a skew. Now, the answer to that is because right now they think Dallas is going to be on the road the entire postseason because they're a wild card. I buy that, but the flip side to that is I think Dallas's first playoff game is likely going to be far easier than whomever the Niners have to face, assuming Philly gets the 1 seed, because Dallas is going to be taking on the winner of the NFC South. And so I just think Dallas is it is hard to say they are as good as the Niners because head-to-head, we haven't seen them beat them. But I think that Dallas's chances of beating Philly are better than the Niners' chances of beating Philly. And so it's kind of a circular thing. So I just think Dallas should be a hell of a lot
Philly
closer.
Is tough. There's no doubt. That's a good game. But here's the thing, Nick. Last 2 years, Dallas has been a very good team, right? Both years. 5-0 at home this year, 3-3 on the road. 8-1 at home last year, 4-4 on the road. That they aren't a great road team.
And if you remember, Brew, before the year, and this is why, I have no reason to change my pick of the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. But if we were to right now, if it's like, hey, we never made picks, what's the smart money on? The smart money in the NFC would be on Philly because of their road to the 1 seed. And if you remember before the year, what I said was I thought Dallas was going to finish with the best record in the NFC. Not only have the bye, but have the playoffs go through Dallas. Now, if Brew's right and San Francisco wins this week, then that actually opens the door up for Dallas once again. If San Francisco to getting the 1 seed, because then Philly could lose to Dallas. You understand? And so, but if Philly is the 1 seed, they deserve to be the favorites. But I think Dallas should be right there with San Francisco.
That's the worst loss of LeBron's career. Next on FS.
Fuck you stalling me for it.
Should be even worse. Cowboys host Gino and the Seahawks on Thursday night. Micah hosts this podcast every week. Here he is on his upcoming opponents. Bro?
You're kind of like, man, I got to play these guys. And then I kind of got the Eagles, I got the Giants, I got Washington, who also I got to play twice a year. So it's kind of like you almost want to break up a league competition sometimes. And some people says, but I always been like, I want to play the best people always. I want to beat your best. I want to dominate your best. That's kind of always been my mentality. I don't care who lines up.
Okay, guys. What are we doing?
What? It's elite competition.
That's elite competition. Micah.
He said he wants a break from it.
Your whole year's been a break from it. I mean, look, the first month of the season, the Giants, tomato can. The Jets.
All they do is embarrass great quarterbacks.
Arizona, who beat them, tomato can. New England, sorry, Wild, tomato can right there. All right, 12-34, those 4 teams.
Where's New England?
Then,
Where's New England?
right here, right.
Sure.
So your first month was a break from elite competition. Then you play somebody elite, San Francisco, and get hammered, okay? Then your next 2 weeks, break from elite competition. The Chargers and the Rams, 9-13 combined. All right,
teams are fine.
It's not elite competition, and they're close. The Rams are right there. Or is that the Chargers?
That's the Rams.
All right, then they play somebody elite, and they lose to them, Philadelphia. Then your last 3 weeks, the Giants, Carolina, Washington combined 9-26. A bunch of tomato cans. All right, so look, the silly comments from the Cowboys coming through. Remember when Jerry said months ago, take a bow, and then Micah said, Cowboy Nation, get ready, we going to the Super Bowl. Something like that. And now here we go again after Jerry says a Thanksgiving game win over Washington was as big as the 3 Super Bowls. And now we got Micah saying they need a break from the league competition. Guess what? Ironically, they ain't getting no breaks. This is their schedule. Seattle, Philadelphia, Buffalo. If they can still be alive, that's going to be a tough game if Buffalo's alive. Miami and Detroit. And then you got Washington. So their next 5 games are going to be tough. We're going to see what they're made of.
When they hammer Seattle on Thursday Night Football, guess what's going to happen? Like Drew's going to come out, and we're going to have a new tomato can. And he's going to talk about Geno Smith turning into a pumpkin, and how Seattle's lost 3 in a row, and how they're not that good. And then in the playoffs, the Rams are 5-6, and they're on here. And when they beat the Jets, they were 1-0 and hot. They hit the game, and they embarrassed them. That all had to stop.
They haven't beat a team with a winning record.
When they played they beat the Jets.
No. Now, the team that has a winning record.
So that's what I'm asking you. So the Rams retroactively become a good win. Or are you going to be like, when they beat the Jets? So when they beat them, the thing is this. Micah said actually what I thought Drew would want him to say. Which is, I personally would love to play great teams every week. But because it's Micah and the Cowboys, you guys are killing it. Like Jerry Jones was not saying the win was a big decision. He said, haven't had a better day. Meaning, we have 40 million people watching, it's Thanksgiving, and in every phase of the game, we dominated our divisional opponents. It was a great day.
If you're sitting there on Sunday watching TV and the Chiefs look great, and you say, you know what, honey, to your beautiful wife there, I haven't had a better day than this, ever. And I'm including the marriage, a birthday, child, everything. I mean, is he going to take it like, oh, Nick's just having fun? He's just saying he's having a great day.
No, I mean, the Chiefs' first Super Bowl win was the best day. I got 3 kids, I'm happily married. That was the single best day of my life. Hands down. It's not even close.
I'm not going to let you ride, Mike. I'm not going to let you ride.
I like Micah. I know you like Micah. But you don't really listen to everything that he's saying.
Thank you, Greg.
Because if you really listen to the podcast, which I know you listen to, he is talking about Trevor Lawrence in response to Trevor Lawrence and what Trevor Lawrence said about C.J. Stroud and the Texans. And he was talking about how he made the comment about wishing the team in this division stayed weak. He then went on and said the comments. It was hard to understand. It was kind of hard to understand. You're a little up there in age, so you probably didn't hear it all the way you needed to. But I'm here to break it down for you. That's what he was talking about. We heard what he said and what he wanted. You just alluded to it. He wants all the smoke every single week. That's period. And we understand they're about to get it.
He said the Colts got Washington, we got the Giants.
Right, yeah, you can't control tomato can.
You can't control those things. To Nick's point,
Like, they played the Jets week 2. We all immediately, right after Aaron Rodgers passed.
Never not good. The Jets were never good.
That was a tough win? No, I'm not saying it was a tough win. But if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, we would have been giving him all kind of credit. But the fact that the Jets were 1-0 and they still found a way to beat the Bills, we're not saying, oh, the Bills won. They lost to a 1-0 team. They lost to a team that, was excited about Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson came in and he off the momentum that Aaron Rodgers came in.
And as Alex Smith pointed out so eloquently the other day on another network with former great chief, I give him credit for it, the greatest dynasty in football history was built on the corpses of divisional tomato cans. Right? Exactly right. Wait. What do you want them to do about it?
If Dallas runs to the Super Bowl like those Patriots teams did, then fine. Right? Then God bless them.
Okay. All right, fair.
That's the difference. The Patriots proved it in the playoffs.
But you're a villain unless the postseason, which I understand. But in the meantime, what do you want them to do?
I want them to beat a team with a winning record.
Okay, how about weeks against Philly?
We're in week 13.
But they've only
got yet to beat a team with a winning record.
Thursday, yeah. Thursday they do.
When they do that,
but then once they do it, see, it's not going to have a winning record anymore.
Well, the question that's on me. Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia. It's tough love. You know I'm old school.
Had they lost to the Rams have a winning record. They still wouldn't have a win over a team with a winning record.
And he can't hit the second.
Yeah, this shit holding me bad, man. Can't even let me make no fucking free throw, bro.
One of the things, Greg, he does so well is...
I went for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro.
This one, the one with titanium, with Verizon, you can trade in any iPhone, even the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
When the team isn't playing at its highest level.
iPhone for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Are you surprised the Niners are favored at Philly?
I'm shocked.
Really?
I'm shocked, considering that the Eagles and all the things that you mentioned, they're 10-1, their primary starting quarterback is in the lineup, and considering what they've been able to do thus far, only losing one game, I'm very surprised. And I do understand what the 49ers represent. They've been the most efficient, the most well-rounded group when they've been all there. When you have Christian McCaffrey, you have Debo, you have Big Trent Williams in the starting lineup, they seem unbeatable, and they're healthy. But I'm still shocked that they're going on the road. And I get Brock Purdy, the QBR, the completion percentage. I get what he represents. But this is the Eagles. They are at home. We know what they represent in that building. So yes, as well as the 49ers are playing, it's not like the Eagles have been slouchy. So yes, I am very surprised that they're a 3-point underdog, and normally the whole team gets the 3 points. So basically, what they're saying, you're a 6-point dog.
Yeah.
Because normally the home team's coming in and you get 3 points just for being at home, and now you're a 3-point dog. So basically, they believe the 49ers are at least 6 points favorite, at least a touchdown better than the Eagles. I don't see that because they win absolutely, and I might just even pick them, but I don't know about this one.
Go ahead, P-Matt.
Carter outside.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is obviously all very real, especially with Philadelphia. Those Johns are a real home field advantage. I mean, that fan base is a part of the game. They obviously get Buffalo Bills players to put them in the middle of the game. It is a real home field advantage. But I think the reason why the sports books have it this way, ESPN Bet has it now with 3 points. I think if you look back at that NFC Championship, and Molly said this is an NFC Championship rematch, but in that game, it wasn't really the San Francisco 49ers. First drive, Brock Purdy, Tommy on. How you doing? If you recall the next series, Fred Warner dislocated his shoulder. Bosa got a cleat to the leg during a punt play. There was just one thing after another where they couldn't even
Now Mitchell.
The backup quarterback got knocked out.
For the second half of an NFC Championship game. It is an absolute terrible situation. If you talk to the San Francisco 49ers after that game, it is a bad topic to bring up. We got to see Deebo Samuels at Radio Row down there at the Super Bowl. And we said, man, Philadelphia, what happened? He was just furious about, I saw George Kittle at WrestleMania, him and his family. And I said, what a run you guys had last year. And then obviously the NFC Championship happened, and they just don't even even talk about it. Don't even want to think about it. It was a game that really soiled their souls. They believe, and you know what I'm saying here, they believe that the football gods quarter to three, pretty much. Since the beginning of that game all the way towards the end of it. So they've been circling this game. Right then, and also another little fact that you can add in, the Niners played on Thanksgiving Thursday. You know, Eagles played Bills overtime Sunday. They got 3 extra day break as well, even though they're going across the country to Philly. I think the Eagles are the hottest team right now. I think they're a more rested team. And I think right. I think this is going to be a Niners game because of all the different things being kind of added into this one season.
I think you're absolutely right, B-Mac, and I'm rolling with you on this one. I'm not surprised at all that San Francisco 49ers, Shannon, are the favorites in this game. And one of the things that I kept bringing up, if you remember, as the season has progressed, I keep talking about San Francisco and thinking they should have been the team in the Super Bowl. They feel they never got a fair shot. What team do you know in NFL history loses 4 quarterbacks in the same season? That's what happened to them. And Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, and then Josh Johnson. This is what happened to them. And they're thinking like, damn, if we had to rely on Christian McCaffrey behind center. I saw Deebo Samuel too. He came on the show Super Bowl week, right there, Fat Mac, and he was right on the center first thing. He was really give a shit. Really give a shot. A regular season matchup doesn't make up for that, but it does send a message. We're coming, and this is what we think we would have done against y'all if we had had all our ducks in order. Now let's go. Let's rewind back to the last 3 weeks. You beat Jacksonville. You both rolled State. You both raced them as Jeff Saturday would say. Okay, you've got a situation where George Kittle gets about 116 yards. You sit up there and you beat up on Tampa Bay. Your IU got about 156 yards receiving. Then you win last week against Seattle. Over 100 yards rushing. Each week there's somebody they got all of them brothers. Plus they got Kittle already. Obviously, Deebo Samuel, they mentioned him. You got Kyle Shanahan call the play.